we're going to bring it on home now with Anne Hayek, who's going to show us how to make crabapple jelly. We've just come from Needham Center where we've collected a whole bunch of crab apples. And Anne, you've been kind of collecting from all over town. You've got a bunch of different varieties here.
I do, Allison. I had a one from a really small crabapple tree.
Yeah.
They're really tiny and they're quite tart actually. Some yellow ones that are also a little bit tart. And then I have some bigger ones too, but they're still about 1 inch in diameter. And those come from a third tree.
Okay.
And actually, you can buy some other varieties in the store, and they're more about 2 inches in diameter.
And they're just in trees all over town.
Yeah, it's amazing how many trees are around town if you just look.
Yay! So what's the first step?
Well, the first step is we're going to consolidate all our apples, and if we see any that have perished, because it's the end of the season, so they go bad rather quickly.
Okay.
So we want to remove those.
So we're looking for ones that are kind of a little bit soft.
Yep. Find any soft ones, we'll take them out, and those go to the compost.
Okay.
And then we're going to wash them in
Now
there.
using warm water?
Oh, I use cold. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, rinse
All
them.
right.
Just going to get anything that was on the outside of the apples off.
Okay. Nice.
Then let's go ahead and put them in the strainer.
Okay. Great.
Give them a last rinse.
Okay. Wow, what a nice variety of fruit. It's gorgeous.
Isn't it beautiful?
Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
We're going to start cutting.
Okay, here we go. And we're going to put them in this pot?
Right, we're going to put the good apples in this pot, and then we'll put everything that we're going to compost in one of these little buckets.
Okay.
Okay?
Great. So what do we do?
So what we want to do, we take a yellow one,
Okay.
is we want to remove first the blossom end, which is where the flower was in the springtime.
All right.
We can just cut that off
Okay.
and leave a nice white spot.
Okay.
And the next thing you want to do is remove the stem. And what I found the easiest way to do that is just to cut the apple in the middle.
Okay.
And then the stem pops right out.
Perfect. That's a good trick.
Yep.
Wow, Anne, that looks really, really great.
It does.
Look at how beautiful that looks, hey?
All
Oh.
those different colors.
So what's the next step?
Let's cover those apples with water. So I'll turn on the water for you.
All right. Nice.
Stick your hand in there to feel it.
Yeah.
And stir up.
Great. And you want to put it kind of on a medium heat, or?
I actually put it on pretty high.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is just bring it up to boil.
Yeah.
And then let it simmer for 30 minutes.
Okay.
So it looks like our apples are all cooked. It's been 30 minutes. So now what we're going to do is filter out the apples because we just want to get the juice at the end.
Okay.
So what we need to do is set up our strainer, and we want to put our muslin in there. So why don't you go ahead and open it up till it's a square about 2 by 2.
And where do you get this muslin?
Oh, I just bought it at the fabric store.
And what about cheesecloth? Is that something that would work as well?
The cheesecloth has a little bit bigger holes, so I think what the problem is that you would get too much pulp, and we don't want any pulp, we just want the juice.
Okay. Okay, so muslin.
Muslin seems to work really well for me.
Okay.
So we want to keep it away from the heat, so we don't want it to burn.
Is that okay?
No, that's good. And we're going to push it down inside here.
All right.
So we're all ready. And then, see, we need our mitt again.
Here's our mitt.
Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead and take the apples, and then you're just going to pour them right into the muslin sheet. Go ahead.
And look at all that. Oh, looks so good.
Doesn't it smell great too?
Oh, oh, it smells so good.
So what we want to do is just grab the corners.
Yeah.
Can you grab that other corner?
Sure. Grab the other corner.
Okay. And then the sides. So we're making a little pouch. And I'm going to turn the rubber band on the top of a really nice thick rubber band that I'm using.
Okay.
And then at the end I just twist it. And if you could just follow me with the bowl.
Okay.
And I go up here.
Yeah.
And hang it right from my knob.
Oh, good.
Okay. And just keep that right underneath.
Look at all this nice juice. Oh, it's gorgeous.
It is.
And you want to keep the strainer in there in case any...
You can take the strainer out, I suppose. I usually just do that at the end.
Okay.
And, you know, to get the apples down to where the juice has drained, you need at least an hour.
Okay.
You can do it for a couple hours if you want. It'll get it nice and cool.
Now what about just squeezing it?
You don't want to do that.
Okay.
Because what you want to do is have a clear juice.
Okay.
So if you squeeze it, it'll end up getting some pulp in, which will make it cloudy.
Oh, okay. So just leave it like that.
Just leave it, just patience.
Okay.
It'll do its
Nice,
job.
I love that.
So next what we want to do is measure our juice that we have, and that's going to determine how much sugar we add to it.
Okay.
So we just
You want
want
to
to
mix
know.
these together?
You can mix them together. We're going to go ahead and mix them together.
Okay.
Because we need a certain amount of volume.
Oh, it's nice and thick.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay,
So go ahead.
just
1 cup. 2 cups.
Okay.
Keep going till it's all gone. So it looks like 2 3/4.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to add in 3/4 to 1 cup of sugar for each cup of juice that we put in.
Okay.
So that would be 3/4 for the first cup, 3/4 for the second cup, and about a 1/2 cup for the third cup.
Okay.
For the third 3/4.
Okay. Now cooking with sugar, you do have to be careful, right? Because
It gets hotter than boiling,
yes.
which is why we use a candy thermometer.
Okay.
And what we're going to do with this at sea level, we're going to heat up to 220 degrees. And the basic idea is whatever the boiling temperature is,
Yep.
plus 8 degrees to get to the gel point.
I see. Okay.
So as soon as it's mixed up,
Yeah.
I'm going to put the candy thermometer in there.
Okay.
And then we'll continue to stir from time to time.
Okay. Great. Can you do it without a candy thermometer?
I suppose you could if you know how to determine the gel point,
Okay.
but I'm not that good yet.
Okay. But you can just get these at your local hardware store?
Local hardware store, local cooking store.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
So we'll come back from time to time and stir it, check the temperature.
Okay.
Of course, so it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to come to temperature.
Okay.
And then it's going to boil off a lot of the extra water
Yep.
until you get to the right density of sugar.
Okay. So an important part of preserving is sterilizing the jars?
Yes, absolutely. You want to make sure your jars are sterile before you put the food that you're going to preserve in, including jelly. So the way that I do it is with boiling water on the stove, but I know there's other methods you can use.
So this water's come up to the boil.
Right?
All right. And are we going to put all 4 jars in together?
They all fit.
Okay, great. And you lay them down? You kind of fill them?
Yep,
Okay.
lay them down so they're well covered. Go
All
ahead.
right. And how long do these go for?
3 minutes for the
3
jars.
minutes for the jars. Okay. All right, let's get these out of here.
So what I do is just lift them and then let the extra water pour into the boiling water.
Okay.
Exactly, just like that.
Okay, and you want
And
them
then-
face up?
Yep. Face
Okay.
up.
Now there's a little bit of water still in here. Do you want these upside down, or is it okay if a little bit of water?
Most of it will evaporate, but it's we can just wipe it out at the end if we need to with a clean towel.
Okay. Great.
Let's see how our jelly is coming here.
All right.
We're there.
Yay!
Yay! So I've gotten a ladle ready
Okay.
and a funnel. So I'll hold the funnel out and then you pour and go up to about 1/8 to 1/4 inch from the top. Just keep
Okay.
pouring in.
All right. Now you want it
Okay,
how high? I know this is critical.
Yeah, a
How
little bit
high?
more.
Okay.
We'll just want to leave not too big of a space for the
Keep
air. Go ahead. Yep.
All the thing?
Yep, that looks
Okay.
perfect.
Great.
And we're going to close it without touching the
Don't
inside.
touch the inside. Okay. All right. And
Squeeze.
tight?
Tight, very tight, as tight as you can.
Okay.
Then go ahead and flip it over right away.
And what's the purpose of that?
Well, that's way we're going to sterilize the lid as well.
Okay.
Because the whole, it's all sterilized with the heat of the jelly as well as being pre-sterilized.
Okay.
And then also what's going to happen is afterwards, this is going to draw, as it cools, it's going to draw vacuum.
Okay.
And then we're going to hear the lid pop from the bottom. If you don't hear it, if you're not around to hear it, you can always just check the lid on the top.
Yeah.
Because this little button should be depressed, and if it's not, it makes a little noise. And the other thing that you can do
Yeah.
when you're done is label. Oh,
Okay, we'll put our pretty labels on them.
exactly.
Nice.
Well, that's it. That's
Thank you
Crabapple
so much,
jelly making.
Anne. That was so fun.
It was. It was
Yay.
really a very fun time with you this morning.
Yes, it was fun. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Your World Bringing It Home. We'll see you next time.